All right. Saying we're live. Gonna give it a few seconds. Hopefully, there we go. Let's see. Ads rolling. Everybody's skipping the ads. All right, let me just get this tweet out on Twitter, and then we'll be all good to go. Thank you for the Ty Gibbs rant enjoyment, Roberto. I do appreciate it. Was a long time ago, but I'm glad that you liked Ty Gibbs rant. Let's see. Let's see right now. It's gonna be really fun. I mean, I guess this whole weekend has just turned into place differential weekend here. We had nothing but that in the truck series. It's looking like it's going to be that for today. Although today, anybody over, you can make an argument for anybody over 8K to score well, either due to place differential or laps led. Um, a pretty, I think this is probably the best slate of the day. I think it's the most interesting. And let me just make sure that's going. Okay, cool. But yeah, I appreciate all the get well wishes and everything, and I didn't mean it like that. Like I don't. I mean I appreciate all the kind words. I just didn't. I don't want you guys feeling like you have to, you know, pray for me and all that type of stuff. However, I do appreciate it. I was just doing the update just to let people know I wasn't doing like live shows last week. Um, it was, dude. I have no idea, man. I can't imagine pitting for scuffs on a green white checkered, and then not only pitting for scuffs, then pitting again because you have a loose wheel. Chandler Smith started EOL. I can't believe that. That was wild. That was crazy. I mean, no, that made no sense at all. And yeah, I just had a really really bad cold. Um, what's going on, Kay? Good to see you again. Moving on to this race real quick. Let me get my stuff up. In terms of clearly not everybody is going to lead laps in this race. Not everybody is going to, you know, hit their ceiling projections. But in terms of highest scoring drivers, it can easily be Ty Gibbs, John Nemechek, Ryan Truex, Tyler Reddick. If the race goes in the traditional sense of Ty Gibbs having the best car, leading, staying out there, um, John Nemechek clearly showing the speed of practice. Ryan Truex clearly showing the speed of practice. Tyler Reddick clearly showing the speed in practice and starting there due to the rain or due to qualifying being rained out. If Ty Gibbs isn't able to lead laps, excuse me, you can easily see Gregson get anywhere close to 60 to 70 points. You can argue the same thing for Justin Allgaier, for Josh Berry, even for AJ Allmendinger starting fifth at $9,600. Very easy to get him the lines. Brandon Jones is most likely in line for at least, 8 fast laps in this race. We look back at how Brandon Jones traditionally runs at Darlington, and it's one of his best tracks statistically for the Xfinity series. And you see it in practice every time we go here, and you see it back to begin here that Brandon Jones is going to have top 5 speed. So I assume that he's going to be at least clicking off fast laps throughout this entire race. Hemrick is $8,400, starting 11th, offering place differential. Same thing with Landon Castle. Same thing with Austin Hill. And so literally everybody from $8,000 up is in play today. It just depends on what you're building your line with. And that's mainly why I want to start with talking about the value plays and where we're wanting to turn and where certain lineups are wanting to go. Sorry, I'm trying not to just absolutely blow your eardrums out with me coughing and stuff. Hell yeah, punt analysis. This is what I live for. So at the moment, I haven't looked through. I haven't charted like I normally do. But let me bring this over here. in terms of value drivers, I have in lines right now. I have Kyle Sieg, I have Bailey Curry, Kyle Weatherman, Mason Massey, Stephen Parsons, Tommy Joe Martins, and Timmy Hill. Balicki is in the 6K range. I wouldn't necessarily refer to him as a value play. And it depends on what you're going for in lines. Like, clearly, we can all agree that Bailey Curry is mispriced. And if you're chasing, the most likely, or the optimal line that is most likely to hit if everything goes well, which is Ty Gibbs, and then the place differential guys in the back, then Bailey Curry is going to be used in those types of builds. If you're not chasing Bailey Curry, you don't necessarily need to be in that range. And so if you're not going there, you're most likely using Tommy Joe Martins because he's mispriced starting 36th. If you're trying to find different plays to get to, you go to Kyle Sieg as well. But let's actually break down what I have these guys projected for. And so, like with me, I have Bailey Curry getting easy value at 24 points today. I think Tommy Joe Martins could easily get over 5x. We could make arguments for different ways that builds are going to play out. So if you need to go to David Starr, like right now I have David Starr projected for 13 points. However, I wouldn't be shocked if we see him getting above 20. Like Weatherman, I have projected for 18 right now, but we're seeing that Kyle Weatherman is able to carry this car way more than Jesse Iwuji was doing, which is, wow, what a shocker. There's a realistic chance that we do see Kyle Weatherman work his way into the top 24 today. There's a chance that we see Stephen Parsons go from 35th to running in the mid 20s today. So like right now I have Stephen Parsons for 16 points, but even if I bump that up to a bit of an aggressive projection, you could easily see Stephen Parsons get to 24 points. And so it really depends on the build that we're going in. So who specifically would you guys like me to talk about or break down in terms of the punt plays? Because I think Tommy Joe Martins is chalk. I think he'll carry the most amount of ownership in this range. I think Bailey Curry is probably second. If you count Josh Balicki, if you like Tommy Joe Martins, I don't see how you don't like Josh Balicki because he's not that incredibly high in terms of pricing. I haven't passed 11 people, but if Tommy Joe Martins actually performs and we expect him to be running near 22nd, 21st, Josh Balicki, I would argue, has more talent than Tommy Joe Martins, and I absolutely just X'd out of my my screen over here. But we could easily see Josh Balicki work his way up to scoring around 36 points. So that's mainly why I want to leave this part open, and go with wherever you guys want to go from there. And then probably we'll go back up and talk about lap leaders and stuff. All right, so let's go in here. Happy to see you, JJ. Let's see, Wes. This is so with me, I'm very high on Ty Gibbs today. I fully believe in the car that Ty Gibbs has. My main concern is the short run speed. If Ty Gibbs doesn't get a good turn 4 on the first lap, there's a nice chance that we see Josh Berry take the lead, or we see Justin Allgaier take the lead. However, I would lean towards Ty Gibbs having the best car, surviving the restart, and hoping that we don't get a yellow right off the bat shortly into the race, because that's exactly what happened yesterday with John Nemechek. Is he had a fantastic start to the race. We have the early yellow, and he doesn't have a good restart, and he falls back to second when I think Chastain takes over the first time. And so I have Ty Gibbs projected for 45 laps led, 32 fast laps today, winning the race, 70 points in total. But I also have Barry projected for laps led, Allgaier projected for laps led, Gregson projected for laps led. These are all guys that can very easily pass Ty Gibbs on the start and get there. And so the reason I'm saying that is because I don't foresee mechanical. My only concern would be Tyler Reddick, but I don't even think that's going to happen. So I don't foresee any mechanical issues happening to Reddick, John Nemechek, or Ryan Truex. Now it can happen, but right now I don't see that realistically happening. Due to that, Nemechek is a top 10 car. Ryan Truex is a top 10 car. Tyler Reddick is a top 10 car. If these guys just get to the top 15, really, they don't even need the top 10. If they get to the top 15, they're all hitting value. And we're in a situation to where if they move up to the top 15 and it's just one lap leader, let's say, for an example, Ty Gibbs runs away with the first quarter of this race, and then you have the place differential guys moving to 12th, 10th, 11th, somewhere around there. They're going to be outscoring Barry, Allgaier, Gregson, AJ Allmendinger, all these guys fairly easily. The issue starts to come from is how you think this race plays out. Do you think we see two guys lead? I'm leaning no. I'm very much. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I have like 80, maybe 75% Ty Gibbs today. And I have lines with him and just the place differential plays. I have lines with him and then spread out between Barry, Allgaier, and Gregson, even AJ. How much Ty Gibbs do I have? I have 88% Ty Gibbs today. I like Ty Gibbs to survive the initial restart, lead the entire first stage. He clearly has the best car in the long run. And at that point, I don't think we're going to see another guy pass him in stage 2. That's where I'm at. That's what I'm mainly building for. So if it goes that way, then the place differential plays are going to outscore Barry. If we get a situation where Gibbs and then say Justin Allgaier or Gregson takes the lead in stage 2, it then comes into how many hog points Gregson or whatever the second lap leader gets. And is that enough to bump out Nemechek? Is that enough to bump out Truex? Is that enough to bump out Reddick? I'm going to say we can argue that it's enough to bump out Nemechek, but it's going to be really difficult to bump out Truex and certainly Reddick from the optimal lineup today. And so if you're starting to build a 2-lap leader line, you run in the situation to where, do I not play Reddick because he's the most expensive of the place differential guys, or do I not play Nemechek because he's the most likely to not hit in a situation of a 2-lap leader line, because it'd probably be Truex and Reddick working there. I currently have 65% Reddick. I have 76% Nemechek, and I have 82% Truex. Those are my main exposures here today. And I mean, you can clearly see the type of build that I'm leaning towards. But anyway, so that's that. What is this? 20. Well, it depends on who you're looking at. I believe we'll probably have 50 guys left on the lead lap in this race. But if it depends, you'll have to be more specific here. Yes, Chance, very soft pricing. They do seem cheap. Matt Mills is a no for me. Let's see how many lines I have right now, because see, we have an hour and 20 before the race starts. Let me look at the amount of lap. So I have, let's see, I have 17 lines made right now. I'm going to end up with 20. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 made of 2 lap leader lines. So the other 9 are chase and place differential. And between those place differential plays, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines that have one of or two of Hemrick, Hill, and Castle. If I'm chasing pure place differential lines, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 lines absolutely chasing place differential. That's where I'm at. In terms of top 3, for me, it's Ty Gibbs, Noah Gragson, Justin Allgaier. That's where I'm at for my 3 guys. And thank you so much for the super chat, Michael. I do appreciate that. Between those 3, I believe I have a Moffitt line. I may have taken him out. Actually, I don't have either of those 3. However, if I'm choosing between those 3, I would lean towards Jeb Burton, but I don't like any of the R Motorsports guys. So when we're looking at his long run speed, clearly he's one of only excuse me, one of only 10 guys who ran a 15 lap average. Ryan Truex is buried deep in the field. We don't have to necessarily. Ryan Truex had the best car in the 15 lap run, and Ty Gibbs went out, and I can't believe he moved it, man. Where's my PA one? It is, where are we at? Ty Gibbs. Ty went out there and ran the entire first. He did not come into pit until 17 laps into the practice session. So they unloaded. He may actually. I wonder what happened on lap 4. I wonder if there was a yellow. Who spun out? Did somebody spin out? Anyway, he did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 consecutive laps, went into pit, came back out for Ty Gibbs. We saw a 2.5 second fall off in that run for Ty Gibbs. They arrived off the truck like that. So we're seeing that Ty Gibbs, Truex, Nemechek are the guys who are carrying the speed in the long runs, which if you want to support us, support me, support Pearce, support the work we do, you can join the Patreon below and look at each individual lap that each of these guys ran. But the reason I'm leaning to Gibbs having the best long run speed of the day is because they were already set up for the long run here off the trailer. Ty Gibbs said in practice, like, look, we're not concerned about short run speed at all. This race is going to be determined on what your car is going to do in a long run. They can make changes if we run into a situation where we have like a 15 lap shootout at the end. They can pit and make changes for that. So, like, for example, his 5 lap run is 12 fastest. Okay, not knock the doors off of anyone. In the 10 lap run, he's 6 fastest. But once we get to 15, which is what I want to really consider the guys that he's racing against, we didn't get a 15 lap run or even a 10 lap run from Gragson, Allgaier, AJ, even Barry. The Joe Gibbs guys were the guys, or the Toyota drivers were the guys who really showed up and ran there. But Ryan Truex is going to be buried in the field for at least 48 laps, probably 50, somewhere around there. So we don't have to worry about Ryan Truex going out there and stealing the lead early from Ty Gibbs. I think Ty Gibbs is going to be able to outrun Allgaier, Gragson, AJ Allmendinger in the first stage. And the reason why I am leaning towards really chasing place differential because my second favorite guy to lead laps today is Ryan Truex. I think when Ryan Truex gets up there, he's going to be competing for the win today. And so for me, I'm leaning to Ty Gibbs having the best car in the long run. The only situation that I'm concerned about is the initial restart or the initial start. But that's why I'm looking at Ty Gibbs having the best car. That is true. However, this is an RCR car that they're running for the 4018. And let me see. Yeah, so that's what he said last week when that's what AJ Allmendinger said last week in practice of just being like, look, we're about a month off. And the reason he said that is because this whole month is intermediate tracks. And when they're saying competing for the win like that the colleague cars are going to be top 10 cars today. The issue comes from they're not going to be able to compete with Junior Motorsports and Joe Nemechek and Joe Gibbs. The main issue comes from is I just think they're absolutely too trimmed out. Like we're seeing colleague run the fastest laps in the short run, but they are not surviving long run. Hemrick is he starts 11th. I have Daniel Hemrick projected for 44 points today. I don't see him getting really any more than that. I do have Hemrick with 5 fast laps and getting around a 7th place finish. That's why I have sprinkled in Hemrick, Austin Hill, and Castle and lines because they are easy to get to. And I think they can hit value pretty easily. They're not as dependent on the guys up front like Barry, Allgaier, or Gregson. And I think there's a chance that Hemrick, Austin Hill, and Castle all outscore at least 3 of the guys starting inside the top 6 today. Just due to the fact that they might not get laps like the guys in the top 6. And I don't think it was necessarily he was. I don't actually. I seen Jeremy commented late. Hold on. I don't hate it. It's unfortunate. Like whenever you end up with lines that you just end up on people. Like I got 6% Reddick today. I would prefer getting to Austin Hill. I'd prefer getting to Landon Castle before. I'm pretty sure I have Gregson projected for second today, but Gregson has my second highest amount of laps led, and I got Gregson projected for third actually. I do have most of my 2 lap leader lines are actually Ty Gibbs and Noah Gregson together. And see, like, okay, so like I believe that this is a terrible stat to look at because you're saying I don't believe he ran at 25. My bad. Yeah, he's the fastest in 25 lap averages because 2 drivers ran a 25 lap. And the end of the 25 laps for Gibbs was deep in traffic. That's why, like, when you get into a situation like this of like, well, Castle's faster than Gibbs in a 25 lap average, but we also need to like look at like we need to imagine the amount of time that Gibbs is going to gain during the start here. Like Castle is not going to compete for the win today. He's not going to compete for a top 5. Castle's going to be competing for a top 9, whereas Gibbs is going to be competing for the win. We're seeing that Gibbs is nearly a 10th and a half faster than Landon Castle on the 15 lap run. And so you add that over the course of a run. I mean, that's in 10 laps. Castle is already falling back a second on Gibbs. It's going to be even more than that. Like when we're looking at the amount of time that Gibbs and Castle is running, like there's just going to be a huge gap between Gibbs and Castle in the race here. No, and I know that. I'm not using that to like yell at you. I'm saying that that's how I look at all data. Like if I'm comparing Gregson and Gibbs today, like head to head, man, thank God we don't have to deal with Elliott being in this race. But like Gregson right off the bat ran a way faster time than Gibbs. But I'm assuming that he was clearly not happy with the car. Like when we start comparing Gibbs and Gregson's lap times, we're seeing that Ty Gibbs almost by default carries more speed 6 laps into a run compared to Gregson. Like Gregson's already in the 159s on lap 5 in his first initial run, whereas Gibbs is still maintaining high 159s and 160s once he gets into his run. And we barely see Gibbs fall below a 158 at the stripe on lap 14 of his run, whereas Gregson is already in the 158s basically at 5 laps into his run. So that's my main concern with Gregson. Like I think Gibbs has by far the best car today. So that's the main takeaway there. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else. I do appreciate you guys. 54 you guys here midday on a Saturday. I'm pretty sure qualifying is still happening, right? No, it's race day, and that's fine. Whatever. I don't even care. I haven't even paid attention to qualifying for the Cup Series yet. But I really, really, really do like this this slate. It makes building lines very interesting. I'm leaning more towards like when I mentioned earlier of who has a bigger chance of not performing well between performing value wise between Reddick and Nemechek. I have less Reddick because I like the builds that I can do when I don't play Reddick. And clearly I already have builds with all of them in there. But when I start trying to remove one, I'm usually removing Reddick first because I like being able to get to Austin Hill. I like being able to get to Landon Castle, or I like being able to get to Noah Gragson or whatever other lap leader I want. And so that's usually why I'm getting less Reddick here. I'm sure I misspoke on that. Which, lol, my bad, lol, big rip to me. Yeah, and I mean, I don't like it. Josh Berry's probably my fourth interest today. I currently have 1, 2. I currently have 3 lines with Josh Berry today. That's just where I'm at. Yes, welcome to the Bailey Curry is $4,600 show. It's been that way for about 3 days now. Barry does have it. Barry is the guy that I'm playing Barry in the lines that I think he leads right off the bat. Like he's able to pass Josh Berry. He's able to pass Ty Gibbs in the first corner and walks away with this race. I don't think that's very likely. I do have lines in the contingency of that happening, but I'm all over Ty Gibbs today. In terms of value plays that I like, I've kind of already mentioned those. I don't have any Vargas, no Williams, no Patrick, no Matt Mills today. And really like past Martins, Balicki, Parsons, and Curry, any other guy I have other than that is in a situation where one of those guys gets into trouble or one of those guys wreck, because it's going to be so difficult for like Timmy Hill to work, or for David Starr to work, or for Mason Massey to work. But I have them in there just to spread out ownership. Like David Starr and Kyle Sieg, very hard likelihood that they're optimal, but just in my chalkier lines, I've gone to them versus staying on the main chalk. the practice speeds from practice. And what so is not only is Truex in the 18 car, we've seen the 18 car be the best on pit road of the JGR cars. We're seeing that anybody who opts in that car is fast. He's mispriced. He's way too cheap. He's starting with default place differential. I understand they had a very slow time in qualifying yesterday, but that's not a concern for me. I'm very happy that it did get rained out. We didn't have to deal with everybody just playing Ryan Truex. But Truex has the best car in this race, second to Ty Gibbs. And I would argue that Ryan Truex has a real chance to win this race. When we look back at Ryan Truex's previous races here, this is why I haven't looked at it. We'll take a gander at Racing Reference, but I'm going to assume that Truex was in, I cannot remember what cars he was in. But let's take a look real quick. Shit, I clicked the wrong track. Let's bring up Darlington. Let's look at Ryan Truex here. And I know we got to go pretty far down. He was in the Collie car. This was 2018. Man, like we're going way far back. Ryan Truex. Okay, so sorry, I was answering this one here. Yeah, Truex hasn't finished better than 15th in his last two races here. Well, his last two races include the race in 2011 when he was driving for Michael Waltrip Racing, splitting time with Travis Pastrana when he finished 25th, and then when he raced for Colleague back before Colleague was good in 2018, in late 2018 in a playoff race, 2018. And so, if anything, the Colleague race should show you that, hey, Truex should be pretty decent here today in a good car, because he started 13th, finished 15th in a less than stellar Colleague car in the era of the big three. Look at this race that Truex. I mean, if you really want to dive into his 2018 piss poor finish of 13th, this was the field. This was the cars in front of him. Brad Keselowski, Custer, Reddick, Denny Hamlin, Elliott Sadler, Chase Elliott, Justin Allgaier, Matt Tiff in the 2 car, Ty Dillon in the 3 car, Annette Hemrick in the 21, Brandon Jones, Ryan Reed, Landon Castle. Arguably the toughest field the Xfinity Series was up before this year was 2018. So there's that. So that's why I'm so high on Truex. And he's starting in the back. Like Truex doesn't even have to lead laps. I didn't even bother projecting Truex with any laps led in this race. I just gave him place differential points. And he is by far one of the best plays. He's gonna get fast laps throughout the field anyway. I would not be shocked if we see Ryan Truex Jr. easily score more than 58 points today in the race. But yeah, that's really the way I'm going about it today, guys. I don't mind chasing place differential plays here because I think those are legit good cars. They're not just PD plays in the back. I think they're going to compete. They're going to be competing for the win at some point, and it's going to be a chalk type of race. Unless things get stupid, I don't see how the top of the contest aren't being split by at least like 7 lines. So I wouldn't be shocked if we see like 7 guys finish first today, and then 30 guys tie for second, and then 40 guys tie for third. It's one of those races to me. And I'm just leaning very aggressive on the place differential plays. Very similar to last night, to where I had 100% John Hunter Nemechek and 100% Chandler Smith. That's how I'm building my lines today. And we're here for half an hour, 50, 80 guys here. I'll give you guys the next hour and a half Yes, I mean, we did see that. That was awesome. Not only do we not have Elliott in this race, but then he wrecks again. Which how much is Elliott tomorrow? I haven't even bothered looking at the prices. But I'm gonna assume I pulled all the practice data is up on the sheets already. 10,600 for Chase Elliott. Gonna be pretty easy to pay that off. Gonna probably be a really great play tomorrow. So, yeah, I mean, I don't see a reason why you don't play Elliott tomorrow. That's why I'm saying, like, this weekend has been very much just a place differential type of weekend. Like, Elliott and Harvick they have such a small. It's so hard for them not to work out. I haven't finished the projections, but continuing on just how aggressive I've been playing this weekend, I'm looking to have a shitload of Elliott and Harvick tomorrow. And that's where we're at. And I think I'm going to end the show there, guys. Give you guys, an hour or however much is left to finish your lines. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of this. Real quick, David, probably my favorite cheap guys would be Bailey Curry, Tommy Joe Martins, Josh Bilicki, Tommy Joe Martins, Bailey Curry, probably my favorite. Actually, I forgot Josh Bilicki was 5'9". I mean, I don't know why I was thinking like just doing the show that he was in the 6K range. I don't know why I was going crazy thinking that. He's 5'9". Yeah. Like it's pretty much those three guys. Bilicki, Tommy Joe Martins, Bailey Curry. If you don't feel comfortable with those three, Parsons has the next highest chance to work out in that. Those would be my favorite guys there. But thank you guys for watching. I'll be live tomorrow morning to talk about the Cup Series race. And yeah, best of luck. Enjoy the race today.